It's Tuesday. Time for another episode of Mart Radio.
Oh, did you miss me? Well, guess what? I'm selling it. That's right, and I'm going to keep on selling it.
It's the Mart Radio Show.
Some of it you're going to like, some of it you ain't.
Mart Radio.
And once again, welcome to the Mart Radio Show. It's been a very, very exciting weekend because that circle around the moon, the stars, and all of that happened this past weekend, and I am truly blessed to be here another year.
Yay!
Because God has truly been good to me, and I just so happy, and I just want to share all that happiness and goodness with all of you out there listening right now.
And we are blessed to have you as well.
Well, thank you. And I'm just so blessed to have you here to support this as we go on this new adventure. And we're going to get right into it tonight. We got a special guest with us tonight, Mr. Johnny Noel. He's sitting in with us tonight. We're just happy to have you, sir.
It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. So we're going to get right into it tonight. We're going to go back and we're going to talk about a scenario that we see, a friend of mine named John. And we're going to get Chiquita to tell us all about John and what kind of dilemma he's in.
Ooh, oh boy, here we go. And the letter says, Ray, my name is John. Been married for just a few years to a wonderful woman. We started a construction business together right from the beginning of our relationship and doing well. Here's my problem. We often hire contractors to do certain jobs. This time they finished early, and I decided I would surprise them with cash instead of a check. So I went to the bank and withdrew $8,000, and the teller put all $100 bills into an envelope. I get back into the truck, I put the envelope in the console, and leave to head back to the job. On the way, I stop at the store for a pack of cigarettes, then headed back. When I arrived, they were waiting for me. I opened the console to get the money, and it was gone. I started to take off in the truck, but where would I go? How can I pay these people? How do I tell my wife? And how long do you think this marriage will last? I'm writing to you from the top of a bridge. Last question. Can I borrow $8,000?
Ooh, God bless.
Okay, Beth. What you got? Any advice to help John out here?
Oh, John, why did you not lock the vehicle, man? But anyway, seriously, in all sincerity, I feel like $8,000 is that's something serious your wife would have to get adjusted to be missing. That's a lot of money. However, if you have a strong foundation and you historically communicate, and this is rare behavior, you can get beyond it. So, life is not easy, and we all have made bad choices. We've all made decisions that we would all go back and undo. And she's mad. I know she's mad. I'd be mad. Ooh, I would be so mad. But it's not necessarily a deal breaker. You just have to be honest and come clean.
Chiquita?
Ooh, this situation kind of, okay, you know how when you are little and your parents give you money to go in the store and you come out all happy with your potato chips and bubble gum and you got the change in your hand with the $2-3 just hanging out in your hand, and your parents fuss you out and say, girl, put that money up and anybody can come by. To me, John, that's what you did. $8,000 in an envelope is not $2 or $3 that you just leave around. Yes, it was in a console, but apparently your door was not locked. You didn't have a break-in. You stopped to get a $5 pack of cigarettes and lost $8,000. If I were your wife, I would be highly pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I did was I posted this, and we got 25 response. Okay, now most of them was right there together. I had a couple that says it was a scam. I don't understand where the scam was. I had a few that said that it's not a deal breaker as far as your marriage is concerned, because I felt like, me personally, I don't know, but I thought like the wife would be so furious. But if you go back and listen to the scenario again, you will see that she said they had a business together and they were doing fairly well. Mm-hmm. So if you're doing fairly well, the $8,000 should be readily available for you to replace. Maybe you could replace it and your wife wouldn't even know. But it was a very expensive pack of cigarettes for you to stop. My first thing would have been, I'm going back to the store where I bought the cigarettes, and I'm going to find out if they have any type of surveillance out there. So at least we could see who it was that went in my vehicle. Because you didn't stop any place but from the bank to store back to the job site. So it had to happen at the store. Okay? Let's get that done first.
Right.
Second of all, how do you tell your wife? Me, personally, I looked at it as me. And if I had to tell my wife that, I would be scared to death because you're never going to live it down.
Right.
No.
I don't think it's a marriage deal breaker, but she's going to always talk about, remember that $8,000? If you hadn't lost the $8,000, then we could do this. We could do that.
No, when you forgive, you have to be like the Lord and throw it into the ocean.
Forgive and forget.
That is the proper way to do it.
I'm just saying.
That's the godly way to do it. But is that reality?
No.
Okay. No.
To me, people say you can forgive and forget. You might forgive, but you're never going to forget.
No, you don't forget.
Because, I mean, you can learn from that mistake. Like, even in relationships, you can have a relationship with someone, and if someone hurt you in the past, you're not going to forget that scenario. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, you're not going to forget.
You might can use it to your good, you know?
Okay, and that's
you're not going to forget when anybody hurts you. You never forget it.
So, believe it or not, once I posted it, it just went haywire on the internet, and I get a phone call. My phone rings. You guess who it is?
John.
No, my wife.
Your wife.
My wife calls me, and I said, the first question, did you lose $8,000? Man, you would not believe how, I just knew she was just getting ready to just go crazy.
You started sweating.
And then she said, is that you? And she was calm. And I looked at the whole scenario differently because I thought that she would just freak out. A normal wife would have freaked out, and they didn't. So I looked at it wrong because all of those 25 people, no one said the wife would have acted that way. So I was like, maybe I looked at it wrong. It's not that bad. $8,000
it wasn't that bad because you said no instead of yes.
Okay.
And that was irresponsible of John.
Yes.
You don't just leave that kind of money around like that. I would have put it on me, put it in my pocket. I mean, if the envelope is too thick and won't fit in your wallet, put it in your back pocket. Take it in the store with you so it's on you at all times.
And you trust me, I think about it all the time now because it can happen to anybody. It can happen, and I know it has happened to a lot of people. But how do we help John out here? Okay, if you didn't tell your wife,
that's worse.
And you could go back to the bank and maybe you see Miss Beth in the bank and say, Miss Beth, can y'all help me out here? I got this little situation, and see if you can borrow the money. Or you just go ahead and just max out some credit cards to get it paid.
But can he borrow money without the wife knowing?
Yes.
She's gonna.
If he got his own
for the business,
account?
but they own the business together. You mean a personal loan?
Yeah, he can get a personal loan on his own.
If the car's fully covered, and
insurance,
insurance, and he can prove he just went to the bank, to the store, there's a camera, then he can get his money back.
Insurance can be funny. If that vehicle was not locked up, that could be negligence. Insurance is in the business not to pay.
Yes.
Okay?
But it's an option that he might have.
Yeah,
but
you
we
can
don't
talk
have
to
a
him.
lot
That's
of time
good.
to file a claim through the insurance company before the wife finds out. So
I just say come clean. I just don't think the married.
That's too much.
I just
tell
don't
the
think
truth.
married people need to keep
should
secrets.
he have went back to the bank and withdrew another
No.
He should
$8,000?
have talked to his wife and said, I have messed up. I've done this thing. And we need to decide what to do right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be mad, but we need to decide what to do
You
right
got to
now.
remember now, you got people standing out there waiting to get paid.
Okay.
I bet he won't ever get to go to the bank again.
But, you know, you don't need to pay anybody in cash anyway.
And that was one of the biggest things out of the 25 people.
Yes, sir.
I know
Don't pay anybody in
people,
cash.
20 of them says never pay
No,
in cash.
sir. Because you can stop a money order, you can stop a cashier's check, you can stop a personal check, but cash is gone.
That's just terrible. So my thing is, what's the solution? We got to pay these people. They said in it that it was doing fairly well, so they should have another $8,000. So you talk to the wife, and then you go back to the bank,
Yes.
and you get cashier's check.
Yes.
Or you just write them a business check and pay the people.
Yep. Yep.
After you've told the wife.
After you
yes.
told the wife. Yep.
Now suppose she freaks out on you.
But you still have to pay these people.
Yeah.
They did a service for you.
That's right.
That is true. So anywhere around it, these people have to be paid.
They do.
And John has to figure out a place to get this money. Let me ask you one more question then. Would you loan John the money if you had the money to keep him from having to tell his wife?
You know,
No.
Why not?
because I'm not about keeping secrets, and I don't loan people $8,000 like that. No. I don't have $8,000 laying around.
And in the letter, it said they were doing fairly well. Like you said, after he told the wife about it, he could have went and got the money. If she was in agreement, you got to pay him anyway. Just go get another $8,000. Well, no, just write them checks. Pay the people. That's just a loss that they have to
Because
take.
I seem to recall that we did a story on letting people borrow money. And my philosophy is, it's an agreement to pay, but you do it as a gift. And I wouldn't be looking for that $8,000 back anytime soon, even if we had an agreement. Because agreements don't matter to
They were
people.
doing fairly well, so I'm sure he could probably borrow the $8,000 from you, Beth, and give it back to you in a couple of weeks, and his wife would never even know right then. Eventually, down the road, she probably would,
But I don't see how that's doing fairly well. Just say if he had $10,000 in the bank, you're going to withdraw $8,000 to pay your people. How you doing fairly well with a business? You got $2,000 left to your name.
I can't explain that one.
I wouldn't let him borrow $8,000.
We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to ask that question to Mr. Johnny. Okay? We're going to be right back right after this. Don't y'all go nowhere.
It's time to celebrate Pastor Michelle Gooding's 11th pastoral anniversary and quarterly meeting. Sunday, February 25th at The Grove. Herring Grove, Free Will Baptist Church. Special guest pastor Aurelius Mays and the Taylor's Chapel Free Will Baptist Church. So we will see you Sunday, February 25th at The Grove, Herring Grove, as we celebrate Pastor Michelle Gooding's 11th pastoral anniversary. Herring Grove Free Will Baptist Church.
And this portion of the show is brought to you by B&J Small Engine Repair. They buy, sell, and repair all makes and models and all types of riding lawnmowers. He can be reached at 690 Will Baker Road, Kinston, or contact him at 252-624-4724. That's B&J Small Engine Repair.
Reynolds Seafood is a proud sponsor of our show. Located at 336 North Heritage Street, you can get the freshest local seafood around. Reynolds has all your favorite fish, spots, mullets, and more. It's oyster season, and Reynolds has fresh North Carolina oysters. Love fish too? Go to Reynolds. They have onions, potatoes, and fish cut up, all ready to cook. Shop local, shop Reynolds, where you find whatever seafood your family craves. Call Reynolds at 252-523-3474. That's 252-523-FISH. Visit Reynolds at 336 North Heritage Street, Kinston.
All right. If you're looking for a home and you're in need of a dependable realtor, please call Heartland Realty. Myron Rouse, he's your man. You can reach him at 252-320-2158. That's 252-320-2158.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Kit's Mini Mart, 317 East Caswell Street, Kinston. where you can find women's dresses and shoes, men's jeans and shoes. Also, they have snow cones with all the flavors, fresh pork skins and peanuts, where they sell the best for less. Kit's Mini Mart, 317 East Caswell Street, right here in Kinston.
Prime time lawn care and pressure washing. Galanka Brock is serving Eastern North Carolina. You can reach him at 252-640-4060. Galanka Brock. That's prime time lawn care and pressure washing.
Well, all right. We really appreciate our sponsors because those are the ones that really make this happen. Okay, we're going to get back into this $8,000. Since nobody here on this panel wants a Long John, $8,000. So we're going to go to Mr. Johnny Noel, and we're going to see what he thinks about it.
Well, I listened to the whole situation, and definitely there's a problem that he has to fess up to. You got people waiting to get paid. The money is gone. It's not coming back. You got a wife that you got to explain to. He has to sell this story to his wife because, to me, that's what it sounds like. I don't know who the other person that was in the car with him, because that's who got the money.
Mr. John, I don't think anybody was in the car with him.
Well, put it like this. You got a lot of money. You must have a lot to put $8,000 in a glove compartment. Mm-hmm. That was a very expensive pack of cigarettes.
Yes.
I went into the store once myself to get a pack of cigarettes, and I had my mortgage money in my wallet, $1,000. When I came out, and about a half an hour later, I noticed I don't have my wallet. The $1,000 was in my wallet. It taught me a lesson not to carry that kind of money around with me. It taught me that lesson. And getting back to, I would never pay in cash. Now, that's a lot of money to put out to pay people in cash. Someone could say, well, I didn't get mine, and you have no proof, So that's a very expensive lesson to him. Now, when I lost my wallet, I was going to buy cigarettes. Thank God I'm 7 months clean off of cigarettes. So that's a lesson to him. You stopped to go in the store to get something that you really didn't need. You didn't take in consideration that to handle your business first. A cigarette is a pleasure thing for him. But you got business you got to take care of. You got $8,000 sitting in your car. People waiting to get paid. Handle your business and have a smoke later.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, see, like you said, that expensive pack of cigarettes. Mm-hmm. So everybody says that you forget the cigarettes. Let's get everybody paid.
Yeah.
Okay, that's easily said than done, especially if you was a smoker. If you're a smoker, you got to have your cigarettes.
Well, if nothing else, it just shows that John was just maybe naive or gullible. It just never occurred to him that few minutes away from his vehicle would cost him that kind of money. Mm-hmm. Maybe he's a trusting person. If you're a trusting person, I'm a trusting person. I'm not a thief, so I don't think like a thief, Mm-hmm. And so maybe he was just gullible and naive, and maybe he was used to carrying around large sums of money. I don't know. I'm very guilty of having my mind on the next thing that I have to do while I'm doing this thing. I've not lost $8,000, but it still, at times, it causes me some stress because I'm thinking about the next thing. And so sometimes I'll be making an error or a mistake on what I'm doing now because my mind is focused on the next thing or the thing after.
Right. Focus on the here and now.
Right. And so maybe John had his mind on paying the people or what he had to do next, take care of his business, and he was just a little careless. Because I am guilty of thinking of the next thing myself. And I am working on trying to work on the here and now and be present in the moment, because it's easy to make an error.
It is. It is. And it's easy to make a very expensive error.
Ooh, yes. Ooh, Mama was not happy. We've got to follow up.
Yes, we really do. Because I know he probably spent some nights in the doghouse.
Ooh, don't you know? Ooh.
Sure. You know, there ain't no fun in the doghouse.
That was a chili bed.
Okay, Chiquita, what you think?
He probably wasn't just in trouble with his wife, because now he got people mad at him for not getting their money. I mean, these people have lives. They have bills to pay. They were relying on this money that they don't have now. So I don't know what Mr. John did to get those people paid. I have no clue.
Because we didn't discuss on what happened to get those people paid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I guess we're going to come back. We're going to try to get in touch with them and try to find out, how did you handle the situation? I hope that we was able to help you out a little bit. But by the time you got this, you've probably been several nights in the doghouse.
Right.
So I don't know. So, go ahead.
Hopefully that the cameras, there are cameras, and they can pick up what happened at the car when he went into the store.
Even if, I mean, that's a felony, but, even if the people get arrested, that doesn't mean he'll get his $8,000 back. Unfortunately, that's my concern. I hope justice is served, but true justice would be him getting his money back.
Mm-hmm.
But even if he don't get his money back, if they got it on video, his wife can see the video.
That's true.
You think she'll be less mad?
I would think so.
Because he's still accountable for what he should be.
I bet you she don't want him to go to the bank no more.
Yeah.
No. Just write the check now. So I guess the solution to that is never pay in cash.
And stop smoking.
And stop smoking.
I got behind somebody today in a convenience store, and she bought a carton of Parliament cigarettes, and it was $101. And I got up there and I asked the man, I said, was that carton of cigarettes $101? And he said, yes, ma'am, it was. And he said, that's not the expensive ones. And I told him, I said, I'm not going to be in judgment because I used to smoke, and I'm not going to say anything about anybody who does something I used to do myself. But I'm here to tell you that's an expensive habit now. Yeah. Good grief.
Yes.
I thank God every day that I don't do it no more.
I did it for 25 years, and I'm so glad I quit. So,
I remember the day I quit. I don't remember the day I started. I feel like I grew up smoking.
Well, that's another show. I don't want to get into tell you all the cigarette stuff.
I've never been a smoker, never.
But let's go around the table, and we're going to see what you
advice for Mr. John.
Give him some advice.
Lock your vehicles. Lock your vehicle whenever you get out of the car. I don't care if you're going to be gone for 5 minutes or 1 hour. Lock your vehicle. And one more thing, if you don't have any friends that are well-to-do that you can borrow money from, lessen the amount. You should have said, Ray, can I borrow $2,000? Maybe you would have gotten $2,000 from Ray and $2,000 from the next 4 people. That'll make you $8,000. Because that one chunk, $8,000 from one person, that's a lot of money, John.
Beth, remember when she said the $400 was just some change?
Yes, she did. I remember that. Long time ago.
Can get some for Beth,
look,
too.
Call Miss Beth, John.
Okay.
Miss Beth is not the banker.
All right. So, Mr. Johnny?
I would stop paying in cash. That's just a bad habit to have. That was a lot of money to put out.
Yes.
And anything could have happened. He could have got robbed going to the place to pay, and still would have been out of $8,000 and could have lost his life doing it. So stop paying in cash.
Okay. Beth, you.
I will say that, first of all, you always need to be honest with your spouse. Just be upfront with your spouse, even whenever it hurts and ugly. And for a while, you're just going to have to take whatever she has to say, John, like a man. You just have to take whatever she has to say like a man, because she's going to treat you like a child for a while, because that was somewhat of a childish behavior. Mm-hmm. For a while.
Okay. Well, there you have it. John, I hope we've helped you. If we haven't, give us a call, send us an email, a text, or something, and maybe we can do something else. Beth, you got something else you wanted to say before we go?
I do. I do have a true story. As Ray mentioned a while ago, I do work at a financial institution. We had a story a while back about life insurance and the importance of life insurance. And someone actually came to our financial institution this week, and he needed to borrow funds because his father had passed away. And there was not any insurance to bury this young man's father. He was 30 at the most. And the young man's credit score was not good enough for him to even borrow enough money to bury his father, to give his father a proper burial. So the scenario is at least go to your local funeral home and at least get burial insurance. Number one. And number two, take care of your finances, because you never know when you may need to borrow some funds yourself.
Okay. Lessons learned.
Sad.
Yes. Okay, well, again, there you have it. And before we go, I'd just like to say I thank everyone for your birthday shout-outs. I thank you for the cards and messages, the phone calls, all the little things you sent to me on Facebook. I really appreciate that, because it means a lot to me when somebody can say, happy birthday. That means that they're thinking about you and they care about you.
Happy birthday.
And they did sing that
Happy
song.
birthday to you.
But I just want the people out there listening to know that I really appreciate your support, because you're the one that keeps us on the air also. It takes the sponsors to pay the bills, and it takes you listening to keep us there. So, once again, thank you very much. It's the Raymark Radio Show, and we're out.
I'm going to keep on telling it.
It's the Raymark Radio Show.
Some of it you're going to like, some of it you ain't.
Raymark Radio. Radio.